welcome back. It is day 28 on the new account. I believe that's right. Day 28. So this is always a great day, a Monday. We get to see what the weekly reset brings for us. I'm especially interested to see what we got from Apocalypse 2. It is the bottom chest, but still any chest is good. Let's see how we were rewarded. Isn't that fantastic? Crafting material, a nice juicy box for a Mavericks key, 3 ancients, a divine, diamonds, and some regular summons. That's simply fantastic. And let's see what we got out of this chest. Not nearly as good, but still. That was an amazing chest from Apocalypse 2. We'll go ahead and get our chest. Ooh! I thought that was a whole ancient. Unfortunate. I was like, why is it not gold? Okay, so as it's not fancy, but still getting psychic powers so helpful. I think what's going to move this account forward is much or more than gear or new champions is just getting the levels right now. We'll quickly get to the point where we can level everyone up, but we are a little constrained. All right. So I think what I'm going to do at this point, I think that's all of the weekly stuff. I think what I will do at this point is I recorded yesterday a video with some demonstration and progression in Gear Dungeon 1, and I think I'll roll that into this video for this day. So hopefully that's helpful and you enjoy that. Alright, so we are going to explore gear dungeons in this video. How do we approach a gear dungeon on a new account? So we're going to start with Gear Dungeon 1. We're just going to give it a go. The first level should be fairly easy. Initially, we're going to have 4 different lanes. Essentially, you're going to have... Oh, he died. So let's slow it down, but essentially you're going to have a group come in through here. You're going to have archers come in through here. You're going to have more AoE come in through here. Then you have 2 come down through here. This is the boss that will essentially, I think you believe you need a tank down. So she'll target the tank, otherwise she just starts nuking the platform people when you die. And she also gives these enemies the ability to heal on melee attacks, so we do have an anti-healer here. So we're going to go ahead and restart the level. We're going to start with the tank so we don't just die. And take it from there. I like Silas up here in this corner. The major reason is he should be able to pick these guys off from range. So we'll go ahead and speed it up a little bit. My hope is that Ivor can hold it down here. And we will see. Early on we may not need inspiration from Diao, but we can adjust if we do. We'll just use his ultimate here. And we'll go ahead and use the anti-heal. Our damage is high enough now that we don't have a lot of concern, but we're going to put Diao up here just because I think this will be the more challenging part of this level. And I'm not sure. I don't know what his range is on his ultimate. Yeah, they're out of range, so we won't be able to start hitting them until they start moving forward. I think early on it won't matter because he does so much damage, but eventually we won't be able to handle the healing that they can do from up there, so we may need to put somebody with a longer range. So there's a couple options we have, but once again, a lot of our constraint is based on our not having 60s of everyone. So Valise can do a really good job of handling this upper lane once she gets high enough level. Right now, things are just easy enough that we can kill them without having to worry too much. But eventually, we're going to need to account for the mechanics. I think we, despite Sun Wukong being one of our stronger units, I don't think he really has a place here. I guess he can kind of help up here, but I think there are going to be better options to deal with that. So Gear Dungeon 1, pretty straightforward. I do want to tweak the team a little bit as we go into Gear Dungeon, the stage 2 of Gear Dungeon 1. Man, these naming conventions can get out of hand. Oh, we got an unidentified weapon. That's awesome. It's forcing us to go look at the shop that we've been forced to look at before. Thank you. Let's go ahead and try stage 2. Like I said, I don't think he has a lot of use here. I think Vierna might actually be a better option as an execute. And since we took Sun Wukong out, he has some of our best gear, we're just gonna put it on Vierna instead. Alright, so we're still sitting pretty in terms of recommended BP. So I think we'll set up in a similar way. Although we could consider putting a marksman up top instead. We'll see how this plays out. Maybe put Vierna down here. The problem is, even if we put him up top, he can't hit everyone up there. So he's not like a solution. Okay, and we'll need a second tank here. Another issue we'll run into is eventually you need to have tanks that have bastion rings just in order to be able to deal with all of the block that's required. We can use Malvira's ultimate to help up the block, and actually Olog's block can increase his thing as well. We're going to see if Vierna can clear this. Yeah, she can clear that lane right there. Anyone with AoE, the problem is we have to face them up. I think we're going to leave Diao with her, with the inspiration on, in case unless we start taking some damage here. We'll use Ivor here. He still is able to clear that out. I think eventually we may need to stack. Oh, that's the wrong one. What do you want? The anti-healer. There we go. So we continue to generally be able to handle this. We'll use her ultimate to lock everyone in place while we kill them. And I think it's just this up here now. We'll hold Iovar's ultimate for these 4. Although with the boss being gone, I'm not sure they still have the healing ability. But we won't try to find that out. Iovar was starting to take down there, so he does have some self-sustain, but I think that's something we need to be aware of. These levels are nice because it's a way to get gear and resources without requiring stamina, but let's see. Okay, so they're gonna have physical damage reduction, so I think both Silas is not going to be super helpful there, and Ivar may not either, because I believe he's doing physical damage. Alright, let's see if we can look for AoE magic damage. Like I said, Valise is a good option. Not being 60 may be an issue, but this is where we would benefit from having like a... Let's look and see if we have any single target magic damage. I'm going to consider trying to run Numera instead of Silas. They do have extended range, and they may be able to sit up in that top slot. They are 60, unlike Elysia, so... another thing is she is magic damage as well. That's interesting. We might use her as kind of a backstop, since it looks like he won't be super useful anymore. So we're gonna put Ivar's gear on her, I think. Maybe Silas's. And I think we're gonna give her the realm tier. Ooh, but Numera's using that. We'll give the AoE one then. Okay, we can do a couple skill ups with Dust. But here is where we start to feel roster constrained, essentially because we don't have all of the roles. So, but we're going to continue to continue pushing on. Let's see. We'll set up in a similar way, but we'll get both of our tanks up first. And I think the biggest issue may be these, so we're gonna have Vierna here to help. Okay. And execute there. We'll put Numera up there. I think instead of trying to put Diao, we're just gonna give them a dedicated healer. Even with that extended range, we're still out of range. Up there. Okay, but we're okay for right now. We're gonna drop Xena here to help clear these out, but once again, we're constrained because she doesn't have she's not level 60. We might try to put Valise in there instead. It's the same issue, but we'll see if it helps. And I think we might also use Morgan instead of Laya. That way we have those bonuses, and we're gonna swap some gear out here. We'll give Ivar's gear. So our BP is significantly diminished, but a bigger focus than BP is just being able to do the mechanics. I think this will just be a stat stick for the most part. We are somewhat constrained on our mage artifacts, so I don't think Numera is gonna do much here, if we're being honest. And if we don't need Numera, then we don't need them. What lord would benefit us? Maybe Elia. Let's see if there's any watcher that would be beneficial. Potentially her, but I think we might be better. I don't think we'll place him. We'll just put him on the team. Okay, so let's see if we can kind of gauge how much of an effect it is to have Morgan as the Lord. And we're gonna try to get Elise up right away. That way she can have her... we might need another tank up here if we're gonna have Elise up there. That's a situation where... let's see. We're gonna use that AoE. Gonna lock everyone in place. And we're gonna drop our other tank there. So we're kind of letting them get away with things, but we may need to wait for the next group to come in. We can drop our anti-healing here. I'm kind of waiting for Vierna's ultimate to max out. That way she can do her execute as well. Okay, so we're able to keep things clear. Valise is doing a decent job up here, but it does appear that we're gonna need something to stop us up here. So I think we should look at getting another tank. I think the one thing I noticed is that he's a northerner and we could potentially use her as a northerner. So we could use a northerner lord in Isolde, and she's also another tank. Once again, we're dropping the BP, but the concern here isn't so much BP as being able to meet the mechanics of the level. So we're going to put Vierna down first. If we can kill with an initial execute, we can avoid needing that other tank, and we can start to get the top lane set up a little bit faster. Let's see if we're able to. We'll use Aurelius's ult here, soften him up. Then we'll use the execute here. We might have a little bit stacked up, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to get set up here. Looks like we're able to clear there. We're going to use Elowen's Wood Elf for a little bit of cost gen. Alright, we can get Valise's summons down. I think we're going to try to use... oh no, we're not going to have the slots to put her down if we want to tank. Okay, Gaia's here, execute there, that lane should be clear. I think if Valise had 60, this would be a pretty easy win. The issue we might have here is this top lane healing. And they just obliterated Isolde. So we might be better not to drop a tank up there and just have Diao dealing with them. Let's see if we can swing that. We're gonna get Elwyn down first. See if we can get some cost regen back with her Wood Elf. Okay. Go. We'll drop Yao first for a couple different reasons. With Yao down, we can build up her ultimate and be ready to swap it. So let's see if the boost from Diao is enough for Valise to be able to handle this level. Now we get our last tank down. And we may be able to have just one of these mages down here handle this. And in that way, Valise wouldn't need all of this. But yeah, we have some leaks there. I think we might try to put someone else up here. Maybe even like, I don't know. Let's see if we can get away with Valise being down here. And maybe we'll try to put Gaius up there. Or maybe Vierna. I'm thinking Vierna. Okay. So there's the Wood Elf for some cost gen. We're gonna get Valise out here. And we'll use Gaius as ultimate to prevent healing, and we're all clear. Okay, so we're gonna put Diao here. I'm curious if we can just put Vierna there. The archers might be a bit of a problem, but if we can just I think I'm seeing the issue though. We might run into, we don't have anyone to deal with these guys. No. Okay, we're gonna try one more strategy. I'm gonna try to put Olog up there and see if we do okay with Isolde as kind of like the backstop down here. Okay. I'm gonna slow it down here. We're gonna use Gaius here to soften him up. And then we'll use Valise to help finish everyone off. We didn't have our Isolde down. Oops, we're gonna need to restart this. Okay. So we are somewhat limited by roster, but I think at least for here, the other limitation is just, once again, we need some room to level everyone up. And once we get everyone level appropriate, I think we're going to be in a good place as well. Okay, we should be able to speed things back up. We're going to use a Wood Elf for some cost regen. Get Vierna down. Okay, we're gonna slow this down. Get Elise's ability down. And then we'll have, yeah. All right, so it looks like that bottom lane is handled. We will see if Vierna can handle top lane. I think, yeah, we'll see. Okay, well, we're gonna trigger her. Yep, she has a execute, so we are able to handle that top lane as well. The one issue we're running into is we need some healing up there, so we might need to put Leia in instead. Oh, and Vierna died while swapping that. That's really frustrating. Okay. We'll see if we can make that adjustment though. So it seems like we're potentially able to handle the top lane. I think the problem is we need a healer up there, and we probably won't be able to swap Diao back and forth enough to cover that. So we'll see if Vierna is able to handle that top lane with Laia as the healer. We're gonna start with Diao just because she's cheaper. Alright. And we might have cost as an issue, so I am trying to avoid dropping Isolde back here until we get the top lane set up. Okay. So we have this wave coming in. We got Elise's summons out, and then we have, there we go. And Alvira can hold everyone in place. Okay, now we have enough for Laia. Looks like we're set. We will see if Vierna can handle these guys that self-heal without the inspiration from Diao. And incidentally, she'll just clean those up as well. Here we go. Huh, I really thought they got low enough to get executed. Huh. We're gonna try it one more time, and we're gonna see if we can just swap Diao back and forth and use the Wood Elf to help tide us over. That's the one way that I see us potentially being able to handle the top lane, although I think we might be capping out in what we can handle here. Alright. We're waiting to drop Elise's summons until those two archers are dead, and then as they come in, they'll soften them up, and Aurelius will finish them off. We don't yet need to put the second tank there. Okay, we're gonna slow this down as they come in. We'll get our second tank down back here. And that should put everyone in place. Okay, that's good. Now we're gonna swap to the inspiration to assist Vierna in clearing these right here. Okay. And with inspiration, the execute goes through no problem. We can swap Diao back, and we have the Wood Elf just to play as a safety net. One of them survived and is healing, but I think we will be okay. The biggest issue is we'll just need Diao to be back in time for inspiration on the next wave. Okay, so we have another round coming in. We're gonna put Diao back to inspiration mode, and once they get in range, we will trigger the ability. Okay, and that gets everyone cleared. We're able to put a wood elf in, and we'll swap Diao back. Down here we'll drop Elisa's summons. We're going to use Malvira, and we'll use Gaius' ability as well. And we are clear there. Okay, so it looks like we are able to do this little dance in order to cover everything we need. Isil seems pretty squishy, and I'm not sure she's actually doing anything, but we're going to leave her in for now. Okay, so we're swapping her back once everyone gets in the execute range, the ability range. Okay, we're gonna put a wood elf to keep them alive. Elisa's ability here, Gaius here, and Malvira to suck everyone back into place. So yeah, Isolde wasn't really doing much. We're gonna take her back because we needed the healing. I think if we need to, we could potentially pick up somebody down here so we can drop Laia in up here. It looks like we're gonna be okay, and I don't believe these guys heal anymore now that the boss has walked away. So we're kind of pushing against what this account is able to do, but I think it's fun to kind of see where our limits are. So I hope that was helpful. Just seeing some early Gear Dungeon 1. We can try the next level, but I think we're kind of pushing up against what this account can handle. I think maybe we need to swap tanks though, because part of the issue was that Isolde just dies, and I think she might be level 40 if we're being honest. Yeah, so she's just not an appropriate tank there, even if we would love to have that Lord bonus. Let's select another tank. I think Rocks would be a lot better. We're gonna take this team in. I don't anticipate being able to clear this level, but I am certainly happy to kind of see where we are. I think it's good to kind of base mark where you are, and sometimes you surprise yourself and you can mechanically overcome things that don't necessarily seem like they should work. So we're using the same setup we did for the last level. Use the wood elf for some cost gen. Gonna slow things down. Put Elisa's summons out. Use Malvira to lock everyone in place, and use Aurelius. And it looks like we're able to clear. Okay. So there is the potential that we can do this. I think my concern also is the incidental damage up here might be high, but we're going to continue forward. Okay, so we have rocks down. Going to use Felice for summons. We're going to get Gaius' ability off, and we'll use Malvira to lock everyone in place. So looks like we can still hold that lane down. We'll see how this lane goes. We're going to switch Diao to her healing, her inspiration mode. Once everybody comes into that range, we'll see if we can execute them all. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they quite take enough damage Because if they don't die, they start to heal. I'm going to restart it once just to see if we need to let them come in a little bit further. But if that doesn't work, I think we just might be kind of at the limitations. The one thing we could do is go and mess with Vierna's gear, see if there's any room for improvement. The one thing that's kind of important in this situation for her is making sure she's crit capped, because if you miss a crit, then the enemy can't get executed, and that seems like it would significantly impact your ability to be able to clear. So we will go here and here, and that is handleable. Here it is up here. Slow this down just to get the timings clean. So Valise is just so incredibly powerful here. Okay, so that is cleaned up, and she's level 50 to put it in perspective. All right, so we're gonna stop Vierna here. We're gonna slow down and make sure everyone's fully in range before we use this ability. Okay, that goes off. So perhaps we just initiated the ultimate too soon there. We're gonna swap Yao back to heal mode, and we're gonna need to use a wood elf to make sure that Vierna dies to an archer. Yeah. We're gonna try it one more time, see if we drop that wood elf a little bit sooner, if we can keep her alive. So we're definitely, pushing pretty hard against what's possible here. So we just need to remember to be a little aggressive and swapping Yao back to try to avoid Vierna dying to the archer, also dropping that wood elf. Okay, so we're lined up there. Speed this up a little bit, but now we're going to slow it down. Swap Yao over. We're going to make sure that these guys are in the ultimate range before we trigger. And, they didn't die. We need to look at Vierna's gear. Yeah, so she doesn't have 100% crit. I think that would be very valuable. This is some of the better gear right here. That's probably one of our better pieces too. We might need to swap this piece out. We just need more crit. Yeah, we're gonna need to... Sorry, Valise, but we need that piece. And I think I might want to augment just a little bit. Yeah. We'll see if a little bit more attack can help. Okay. we're going to give this one more honest go, and then we will call it a night. Even if we win, I don't think we realistically have the juice to continue to the next level. We're definitely pushing up against what's possible here. I hope we're not weakening Elise too much. She's now significantly lower on her crit, but I think we also have Aurelius, so it will be less of an issue. Okay, that is handled, done and dusted. And we're just cost regenning to try to get rocks in before the next wave comes. We'll slow it down a little bit, just so we can make sure our timings are good. And Malvira, keep everyone in place, and it looks like we're good there. Okay, speed this up a little bit. Okay, we have Diaz's inspiration back. We'll wait till everyone's in the ultimate range, and then we'll go. Okay, so that worked. We're going to put the Wood Elf in here to make sure the archers do not kill Virna until we can swap Diao back. Okay, so that seems manageable. Speed it up a little bit. Get Valisa's summons back out. We're gonna slow this down because we have these coming in. We're gonna need to swap her back. We really need a Wood Elf. Hopefully we can get one back. Alright, executes there. Got a Wood Elf to keep them topped off until Diaz can swap back. And looks like Valise had some summons out. Get the ultimate there, throw some more of her summons out, and that should be cleaned up there. Oh, we didn't switch Diao back. Oh, okay, I think this is doable, but we're gonna need to be they really have you working 2 lanes pretty aggressively. But I think it is doable. For me, I think this is the fun of the game. Like, having limited resources and pushing content that, you know, the game doesn't really think you should be able to do. Man, if we had like a Ribbonhold or somebody we could throw back there for inspiration downstairs, that would be amazing. Okay. And we'll get the AoE from Aurelius out, put the anti-heal down, and that should be good there. We got a Wood Elf for cost gen. We should be good here. Okay. Speed things up. I think the bottom lane is the next one to be active. Okay, so we have all the team down that we're gonna use. So we got Valisa's summons out. We're gonna get the anti-heal, and we'll use Malvira to help lock everything in place. In an endgame account, you don't appreciate that CC so much, but man, it is so useful right now. Okay, so we need to be mindful of her stance and swapping it back. We got everyone coming in. Once they're all in ultimate range, we'll trigger it. Then we're gonna put a wood elf in. For some reason they didn't get executed, but that's okay. I think he should be able to tank there. Swap a Diao back. Hopefully, don't die, don't die. Okay. Oof. I think we dropped the wood elf there too early. These levels are so finicky. Okay. We're gonna give this. I keep saying it, I'm such a sucker for pushing content. I'm like, one more time, just one more. I know. Slow it down for that top lane. Okay, got the anti-heal. Use Malvira to hold everything in place. Roxas just a little bit of a backstop. I don't think he can face tank for very long. Okay, so everyone's in the ult range there. That should take everything down. And we're gonna wait. Okay, we were able to swap the stances and heal. And that archer, okay, that worked much better. Okay, so it'll be the top lane again before the bottom lane. We're gonna swap Diao. I think the problem, this is where we hit the hiccup previously, is you really have to swap. Okay. So there we go. I think we're going to put the wood elf in, and we got Diao swapped. Now we need to be down here paying attention to this. We have Valise's summons go out, Gaius's anti-heal, and we'll use the CC there. So we look solid there. I think we just have one more wave. One more set. Well, one more here, and then one more up here. So we're gonna swap Diao here. And we have Yerna ready. That bottom wave is already coming in. So we got ultimate range here. Okay, we're gonna her ultimate. We're gonna drop a wood elf. We're gonna use anti-heal, and we're gonna trigger ults. Okay, and Diao is swapped again. Okay, so that is done and dusted. We're gonna pick up rocks and just add a healer up here. Hopefully Diao can get back to her inspiration. Yeah, we should be good. Okay, that is clear. Hopefully some of those tweaks, adjustments, and timings are helpful. I think that's a lot of what I like about this channel, is just being able to demonstrate how small changes can have a big impact. I really want to vendor this gear. So we've unlocked the forge. Yes, I know. We've already done this, but okay. We can do some forging, see if we get anything interesting. Potentially useful on early game account. That is an amazing piece right there. That is a vendor piece. Well, let's see if we get anything more interesting on this side. Nope. With right side gear, you just have to throw so much more away. We will hold on to this for what we call a trash wing set, just so we can put on a character that we drop to buff someone and pull them out. Same here. Alright, one more piece. That's one of those pieces you hold on to and never use because you want the crit rate. We did pick this up. This has the potential to be very nice, but it's awful, and we'll just vendor it. Unfortunate. Okay, so hopefully this was interesting. Give me a comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you're enjoying. Let me know if you'd like me to trim these back. I could potentially just cut a lot of the failure out, but I think that kind of informs the process. Anyway, have a good evening.